What's up, guys? Today I'm bringing in a spicy Shadow Mawile and Ludicolo anti-meta team. So before I do get in the commentary, I did want to take a moment to give a shout out to one of the viewers who went on a crazy 18 win streak with a previous team that we had posted. Thank you so much for that comment, and it really does make my day to hear that these videos are providing value to you. If you haven't seen that video yet, of course, I'll leave a link right here. And if you are the type of trainer that enjoys these spicy teams and all of these different team comps and how they go up in the Great League, definitely hit that subscribe button because we post very frequently every week. So going right in here with the team comp, I am going with the Shadow Mawile with Fire Fang and opting for the Play Rough on this set of 5. And then we're bringing in the Ludicolo as the safe swap with the Ice Beam to help us deal with some flyers, and then Galvantula, of course, helping us kind of soft lose in a lot of situations, and kind of the Azumarill a little bit better. So coming in here in game 1, we are matched up with a Toxicroak, so not the best situation for us here. I am going to swap into Ludicolo to catch this Mud Bomb, and we are successful with that. And in comes the Frost Glass with Hex, so definitely something unique to see. I do go with the Ice Beam, but really probably maybe should have gone for the Energy Ball instead, but it ends up getting shielded anyways. I decide here to take this charge move thinking that it wouldn't knock me out, but man, this Avalanche hits hard. So that's something to learn for next time. We do bring in the Mawile, and we do have to shield this up because we just learned that that attack stat on this thing is really high. So I am attempting to farm down, and I am successful at that, which is huge. The Toxicroak comes back in, and we are firing off the Play Rough, hoping to land, but unfortunately it does go shielded. At this point, I would get farmed down by the Toxicroak, so I do have to swap out, and we do catch a Mud Bomb. So in comes a Galarian Stunfisk, so I am firing off these lunges to help us lower the attack here, just because discharge wouldn't do very much anyways. I am going to go ahead and let this Galvantula go and hope to bring in Mawile to close, but unfortunately it is taking super effective from those mud shots and was too low of health. So good game there. Seeing the Toxicroak in the lead was a bit rough for us, but Shadow Mawile does have a little bit better of matchups to things like this Bastiodon or like a Skarmory. So I'm seeing the Bastiodon and I'm immediately thinking that Bastiodon Double Grass. So I do want to preserve this Mawile here. So I'm working up to that Power Up Punch and swapping out, something I do like doing to be able to conserve that Power Up Punch for a later matchup to get that boost and save it. Instead, they swap out a Deoxys, which is good news for my Ludicolo here, just because I am able to do some at least decent neutral. At this point, I am going to go ahead and let this Ludicolo go, just because I know that Galvantula can come in and finish up the job. So we work up to a lunge, of course, and I'm able to make it before he fires off the Rock Slide, and able to take out the Deoxys. So in comes in the Bastiodon again, and this is what we were saving the Power Up Punch for, really just for a later date so that we can conserve this attack boost. Of course, this is going to be expected to be a flamethrower, and we will have to shield this. And he swaps out into a Venusaur, so a grass. We're looking good there. And going for the Power Up Punch does get the shield, which is good, and I am trying to farm down here. But they do fire off the Frenzy Plant. We are going to go ahead and shield this just because we are about to work up to another Power Up Punch. And with how low this Bastiodon is, this Power Up Punch would do a lot if went unshielded, just because we have the boost now. And of course we are just able to farm down. So good game there. Fortunately for this lineup, that Mawile does handle the Bastiodon and Double Grass teams that we have been seeing frequently very, very well. And then of course we have the Galvantula in the back just in case, because of how squishy Shadow Mawile is. So coming in here, we do see the Registeel in the lead. We don't really see too many of those anymore, but it is still prevalent. They swap out into the OG Stunfisk, and of course we go into Ludicolo here. So So we are going to take neutral from these discharges, but our bubbles and the energy ball is going to be doing super effective. So the goal here is to be able to come out on top so that I can line my Mawile up back in with that Registeel. So we are going to go ahead and soak up these charge moves. My opponent hasn't really committed to any shields yet, but these mud shots are being resisted, so fortunately we are able to absorb them a lot better. So I do see the shield there, and in comes a Shiftry. So unfortunately, because they did use up all of these shields, this Shiftry is going to take an Ice Beam. I go ahead and swap out into Galvantula and get a Volt Switch in. So in that way, I'm able to hit these lunges on this Registeel and kind of soften it up for endgame and for the Shadow Mawile. So I'm going to choose not to shield any of this Registeel's charge moves, just because my main goal here is really just to soften it with these lunges. So of course I'm not going to commit any shields to endgame for this. But I am noticing that my opponent instead is going for these Focus Blasts instead, which are taking a lot longer. So I switch up the gameplay here, do make the shield, farm down, and Optic Shield this as well. I'm going to just go for the lunge for the game. So lunge is going to be doing more than enough to hit neutral for this Stunfisk and be able to take it out. So these Volt Switches as well are no joke, and they do hit really, really hard in neutral, which with Galvantula's attack stat is making it really, really nice, as well as gains energy fairly quickly. So now our Mawile is matched up to a Lantern. That's really, really bad for us, so we have to swap out immediately into Galvantula. And we are noticing here that it is a Water Gun variant, so it does hit a little bit harder for those fast attacks. He does swap in the Whiscash. So at this point, we are just going to go ahead and again soften it up with those lunges. And honestly, the lunge at least is doing fairly well in neutral. And I am hoping to take out this Whiscash though, so that we don't have to match it up with our Mawile, which is really the worst case scenario. So we are going to commit shields here, work up to the lunge and fire it off, hoping to connect this as well and then realign that Lantern back in with my Ludicolo. So my opponent does bring in the Lantern back in. We are unable to get to the charge move, and then we bring out Ludicolo, which is going to be able to soak up the Water Gun a whole lot better. And in comes the Skarmory. So we're looking really good here to be able to just farm this thing down. Power Punch comes through, and then we are able to soak up the charge moves fairly well, being the Sky Attack. And of course, we're not going to commit any shields, so we can save it for that Ludicolo matchup with the Lantern, just because of it does have energy from the previous matchup. So here we weren't able to make it to the Play Rough, so I'm going to go ahead and just throw the Power Punch and do as much chip damage as I can. In comes my Ludicolo, and I was choosing to take this first charge move to see what it was, and it is a Thunderbolt, hitting more than I thought for neutral. And of course we are going to fire off these energy balls, hoping to get to a second one before the next two Thunderbolts. But at this point, with the Water Gun, as opposed to Spark not generating as much energy, we are very comfortably able to get to the next energy ball and take this game. So seeing the Lantern in the lead is something unique that I haven't really seen in a long time. So definitely good game my opponent there. But this team is also a little bit more diversified to handle the Altaria if need be, just because having the Shadow Mawile in the lead will help us at least. Even though we do lose that match, able to soften it up a bit. So here we do see the Galarian Stunfisk, and how I generally like to play this is seeing if they'll fire off the Rock Slide or not. If they do fire off the Rock Slide, then I will absorb it and swap out in Ludicolo. If not, then I'll try to catch an Earthquake. My opponent was able to read these two plays and ends up saving the energy until I swapped out, which good on my opponent there. And we do farm up just a little bit, and then go for the energy ball to take this thing out. So in comes a Toxicroak, and this thing again is kind of tougher for my team to handle, but Galvantula is able to resist the counters. We do need to shield this and respect the potential Sludge Bomb, and it does come through. So I am going for the lunge bait here, hoping that he does shield, but they end up taking it. So this opponent really is reading a lot of my plays very well. This is another charge move comes through, and a Sludge Bomb does go ahead and take us out, and our Mawile is able to farm up a little bit. So fortunately, in the end game, we see a Beedrill. So I'm very, very happy to see that, just because Mawile will be chunking with these Fire Fangs, and again, we did save that Power-Up Punch boost as opposed to wasting it early game. Do shield up the Drill Run, go for the Power-Up Punch. My opponent knows it. Of course, this is how quickly it's coming through, but at this point, that is game. So good set there. That is the anti-meta team, trying to take out things like the Bastiodons and the Altarias and the Azumarills and the Galarian Stunfisk. So definitely give this team a try and tell me what you guys think. If you like content like this, again, please leave me a like on the video so I know what kind of teams you guys like to see, and if you enjoy the channel, just hit that subscribe button for me. But thank you guys for viewing this, and I'll see you soon. Bye.